Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates India's biggest drone festival, Bharat Drone Mahotsav 2022 at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Says India is marching ahead with great speed and scale to become drone technology hub of the world. Technology has played an important role in strengthening last mile delivery and reaching beneficiaries across the nation, says Prime Minister. President Ramnath Kovind inaugurates 125th anniversary celebrations of late Srimati Lakshmibai Dagdu Sheth Halwai Datta Mandir Trust in Pune. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit Gujarat tomorrow to participate in various functions, including seminar of leaders of various cooperative institutions on Sehkar Se Samriddhi at Mahatma Mandir, Gandhinagar. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval stresses the need to enhance the capability of Afghanistan to counter terrorism. An interministerial central team is in Assam to assess the situation and damages caused by the recent floods and landslides. Geetanjali Shree's novel Tomb of Sand wins International Booker Prize, becomes the first novel translated from Hindi to win the prestigious award. In Asia Cup Hockey, India to take on Japan in their first Super 4 stage match tomorrow at Jakarta in Indonesia. In IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore to take on Rajasthan Royals in Qualifier 2 at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said that India is marching ahead with great speed and scale to become the drone technology hub of the world, inaugurating India's biggest drone festival, Bharat Drone Mahotsav 2022 in New Delhi. Mr. Modi said India has the potential of becoming a global drone hub, and this technology will play a crucial role in several sectors ranging from agriculture, defense, disaster management, health and land mapping in the future.
ड्रोन के रूप में हमारे पास एक और ऐसा स्मार्ट टूल आ गया है जो बहुत जल्द सामान्य से सामान्य भारतीय के जीवन का हिस्सा बनने जा रहा है। अभी जितना इस्तेमाल हो रहा है ड्रोन का, उससे कहीं ज्यादा इस्तेमाल हम आने वाले दिनों में देखने वाले हैं।
Highlighting the importance of technology, the Prime Minister said it has ensured last-mile delivery and with the help of technology, target of Antyodaya can be achieved. Terming drone technology as an effective tool in delivery of services and improving ease of living, he said it will take the farming sector to another level and it will ensure the progress of marginalized farmers. He said farmers' confidence towards the technology has increased in the last 8 years and now they are adopting technology without any fear.
आज देश का किसान टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ कहीं ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल है, उसे ज्यादा आसानी से अपना रहा है। ड्रोन टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे कृषि सेक्टर को दूसरे लेवल पर ले जाने वाली है और आज जब हम आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव मना रहे हैं तो मेरा भी यही सपना है कि भारत में हर हाथ में स्मार्टफोन हो, हर खेत में ड्रोन हो और हर घर में समृद्धि हो।
He said drones will play a crucial role in delivery of medicines and vaccines in the far-flung areas of the country. Mr. Modi said with the help of drone mapping, he reviewed the progress of Kedarnath redevelopment project. Appreciating the use of drones in PM Swamitva scheme, the Prime Minister said 65 lakh property cards have been generated with the help of drones. He said for the first time, digital mapping of every property in the villages of the country is being done under this scheme. It has reduced human intervention and increased transparency. The Prime Minister said this government has reduced the restrictions imposed on the drone sector. He said production-linked incentive scheme was introduced for making a robust ecosystem for the drone sector. He urged the investors to come and invest in India's booming drone sector. He also urged the youth to come forward and set up drone startups. On the occasion, Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia said India has become a leader in the technology sector in the last 8 years.
टेक्नोलॉजी के क्षेत्र में जो भारत सदैव एक फॉलोअर होता था, आज भारत एक लीडर के रूप में परिवर्तित हो चुका है, नेतृत्व करने की क्षमता भारत की हो चुकी है। और ये एक ऐसी क्रांति है जो फैल रही है, लेकिन इसकी शुरुआत तो हो गई है, लेकिन इसकी फैलाव का कोई अंत नहीं होने वाला। ड्रोन का क्षेत्र भारत को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने में बहुत आगे ले जाएगा। ड्रोन क्रांति की ये चिंगारी सबसे पहले हमारे किसान और हमारे ग्रामीण भाई बहनों ने पूरे देश में लगाई है, लेकिन इसकी उज्ज्वला पूरी देश में फैलनी चाहिए। हमारा विश्वास है कि अमृत महोत्सव से अमृत काल तक के सफर में हमारा भारत विश्व का ड्रोन हब 2030 तक बनकर विश्व का नेतृत्व करेगा।
During the Mahotsav, the Prime Minister interacted with 5 Kisan drone operators. He also witnessed open-air drone demonstrations and interacted with startups at the drone exhibition. Several union ministers, including Health and Family Welfare Minister Mansukh Mandavia, Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar and other dignitaries were present during the Mahotsav.
President Ramnath Kovind has said that the land of Maharashtra is blessed. This is the land of saints who gave positive and spiritual thoughts to the country. The Maratha kings of Maharashtra gave direction to the country. Maharashtra also played a leading role in social work, he said. Mr. Kovind was speaking after inaugurating the 125th anniversary celebrations of late Srimati Lakshmibai Dagdu Seth Halwai Datta Mandir Trust in Pune today. The President said, Dagdu Seth couple has played an important role in the service of the country through the worship of Ganpati and Dattatreya. He commended the trust, which is also engaged in social work on the same lines. President Kovind said that integration of a social cohesion happens through social service. He expressed hope that Pune and Maharashtra will always be at the forefront in the social, political and cultural work of the country. Speaking on the occasion, former President Pratibha Patil said, Shrimant Dagdu Seth Halwai and his wife Lakshmi Bai were instrumental during the freedom struggle and created a tradition of social service which is still continued by the trust and is appreciable. On this occasion, Lakshmi Bai Memorial Awards 2022 were presented to 3 renowned women achievers from different fields. The awardees included Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar, Vice Chancellor, University of Maharashtra, Health Sciences, International Bonsai expert Dr. Prajakta Kale and Dr. Bhagyashri Patil, Chairman and Executive Director of Dr. D.Y. Patil, Abhimat University, Pimpri. A coffee table book titled Lakshmi Datta, reviewing the 125 years of work of Sri Datta Mandir, was released by former President Pratibha Patil. An audio-visual film on the brief history of Datta Mandir was also shown on the occasion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Gujarat tomorrow. He will visit the newly built Mathushri KDP Multi-Speciality Hospital in Atkot, Rajkot at 10 a.m. The hospital will make available high-end medical equipment and provide world-class healthcare facilities to the people of the region. Around 4 p.m., the Prime Minister will address a seminar of leaders of various cooperative institutions on Sehkar Se Samriddhi at Mahatma Mandir, Gandhinagar, where he will also inaugurate the nano-urea liquid plant constructed at IFCO Kalol. The cooperative sector of Gujarat has been a role model for the entire nation. There are more than 84,000 cooperative societies in the state.
National Security Advisor Ajit Doval has stressed the need to enhance capability of Afghanistan to counter terrorism and terrorist groups which pose a threat to regional peace and security. He said the foremost priority should be the right to life and a dignified living as well as protection of human rights of all. Mr. Doval said this during a meeting with NSAs of Tajikistan, Russia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Iran, Kyrgyzstan and China in Dushanbe today. He said India has historical and civilizational relations with Afghanistan and it has always stood by its people. He said India has focused on infrastructure, connectivity and humanitarian assistance over the decades. The NSA highlighted the need for representation of all sections of Afghan society, including women and minorities, so that the collective energies of the largest possible proportion of the Afghan population feel motivated to contribute to nation building. Mr. Doval also said women and youth are critical for the future of any society. He said provision of education to girls and employment to women and youth will ensure productivity and spur growth. On the sidelines of the meeting, the NSA took the opportunity to meet his counterparts from Iran, Tajikistan, Russia and other partners in the dialogue. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu will be on a 3-nation tour to Gabon, Senegal and Qatar from the 30th of May to the 7th of June. He will be accompanied by a high-level delegation including Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare Dr. Bharati Pawar and 3 members of Parliament Sushil Kumar Modi, Vijay Pal Singh Tomar and P. Ravindranath. The External Affairs Ministry said this will be the first visit from India at the level of Vice President to all 3 countries.
In Assam, an interministerial central team is visiting flooded areas to assess the situation and damages caused by the recent floods and landslides. Official sources said that while one team is visiting various areas of Kachhar and Dima Hasao districts, another team reached Hojai, Darang and Nagaon districts. Both the teams consist of senior officials from various ministries. Tomorrow, both the teams will hold a meeting with Chief Secretary and other senior officials in Guwahati. The recent flood affected 7 lakh people and caused massive infrastructure damages in various districts including Dima Hasao, Hojai and Barak Valley. In Jharkhand, the 4th and final phase of polling in the state panchayat elections is going on peacefully in 1,299 gram panchayats under 72 blocks of 23 districts. No untoward incident has been reported from any polling station so far. State Election Commission Secretary Radhe Shyam Prasad told AIR News that around 56% voting has been recorded till 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Long queues of voters for exercising their franchise at polling centres in the Naxal-affected areas is witnessed.
Polling for the 4th and final phase of 3-tier panchayat elections in 72 blocks of 23 districts of Jharkhand has started today from 7 a.m. in the morning. While panchayat elections are being held for the 3rd time in the state, voters are excited to cast their votes through ballot paper. Counting for the 3rd and 4th phase of polls will be done on May 31st. Shilpi, AIR News, Ranchi.
In Uttarkashi district of Uttarakhand, 3 people were killed after a vehicle lost control and fell into a 150-meter deep gorge near Dabarkot late last night. 10 people are reported to be injured. They are being treated at the Badkot Community Health Centre in Uttarkashi. More than 192 crore 97 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said more than 14 lakh 41,000 doses were administered in the last 24 hours. During the same period, 2,710 new cases were reported in the country. The recovery rate is currently at 98.75%.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates India's biggest drone festival, Bharat Drone Mahotsav 2022 at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi, says India is marching ahead with great speed and scale to become drone technology hub of the world. Technology has played an important role in strengthening last-mile delivery and reaching beneficiaries across the nation, says Prime Minister. President Ramnath Kovind inaugurates 125th anniversary celebrations of late Srimati Lakshmibai Dagdu Seth Alvai Datta Mandir Trust in Pune. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit Gujarat tomorrow to participate in various functions, including seminar of leaders of various cooperative institutions on Sahakar Se Samriddhi at Mahatma Mandir, Gandhinagar. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval stresses on the need to enhance capability of Afghanistan to counter terrorism. Interministerial Central Team is in Assam to assess the situation and damages caused by the recent floods and landslides. Gitanjali Shree's novel Tomb of Sand wins International Booker Prize, becomes the first novel translated from Hindi to win the prestigious award. In Asia Cup Hockey, India to take on Japan in the first Super 4 stage match tomorrow at Jakarta in Indonesia. In IPL Cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore to take on Rajasthan Royals in Qualifier 2 at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad this evening. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Welcome back to the Midday News. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir has registered significant decline in the infant mortality rate (IMR) during the last 1 year. The IMR has decreased from 20 to 17 in a single year, and it is much better than the national average of IMR, which stands at 28 as per the Sample Registration System SRS 2020 report released by Registrar General of India today. The IMR is an important health indicator which shows number of deaths of children up to 1 year of age per 1,000 live births. The National Health Mission, with an active support of the entire Health and Medical Education Department, has made persistent and tireless efforts to provide essential neonatal care at government health institutions across the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The Union Territory Administration in Jammu and Kashmir organizes Block Divas, also known as Yawm-e-Block, once a week. It is part of the ambitious Jan Abhiyan program, during which District Development Commissioners and other officers assess the progress of developmental works being executed and listen to public issues, grievances and demands. AIR News spoke to some of the participants of Block Divas to hear their views on this unique initiative, which is aimed at strengthening grassroots democracy. Wasim Jan is a resident of Chichripura village of South Kashmir's Anantnag district. He is a regular participant of Block Divas program. He described it as a government at the doorstep initiative.
इससे का बहुत ही अच्छा फायदा है कि ये गवर्नमेंट एट डोर स्टेप्स जो ऑप्शनल हैंड आउट आपको ऑफिस में बिजी रहते हैं, इनको डायरेक्ट किया जाता है कि आप ग्राउंड लेवल पे जाइए और लोगों की बात स्पॉट पे सुनिए और वहीं पे रिहर्सल और डायरेक्शन इशू करें। हमने देखा है कि डिप्टी कमिश्नर से लेके डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफिसर से लेके सभी गाँव में जाते, सभी डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफिसर्स और अलॉन्ग विद डिप्टी कमिश्नर अनंतनाग, यहाँ कश्मीर के डिफरेंट डिप्टी कमिश्नर्स बिल्कुल ब्लॉक दिवस में खुद पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं, जो खुशहाल बात है। और गवर्नमेंट का ग्राउंड लेवल पे डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन ऑफ पावर जिनको कहते हैं, बिल्कुल हमने देखा है, प्रैक्टिकली देखा है। बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम उस ग्राउंड लेवल पे हुए हैं अंडर द बैनर ऑफ ब्लॉक दिवस। खुशाइन कदम है, पहली बार हुआ है कि गवर्नमेंट गाँव जाके ब्लॉक लेवल पे जाके लोगों को बराह रास्त सुनते हैं। इट इज अ गुड इनिशिएटिव जिससे लोगों को फायदा मिला है।
Nasir Ahmad Lone of Kanipura village in Kulgam district says people no longer have to form queues and wait for hours in government offices to seek redressal of their issues. Now, quick action is taken by officers for resolution of public issues at the Block Divas program.
सबसे पहले डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन और एलजी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करूंगा। ये ऐसे इनिशिएटिव, ऐसे प्रोग्राम लेकर जहां अपने मतलब मांगे मनवाने के लिए लाइनों में, कतारों में बैठना पड़ता था, लेकिन आज एक ऐसा प्रोग्राम चल रहा है जो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से चलाया जा रहा है, मेगा ब्लॉक दिवस। उसमें सबसे बड़ी ये बात है कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के हर एक डिपार्टमेंट के डीडीओ साहिबान या जो अफसर साहिबान, सीनियर अफसर साहिबान हैं, वो इस प्रोग्राम में शिरकत करते हैं। जो खास बात यह है, मसाइल जो है उनका रिड्रेसल ऑन स्पॉट होता है।
The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring a special discussion program Spotlight on Jammu and Kashmir, Ek Nayi Subha, Nayi Seemaएं, Naye Adhikar tonight. This is the 5th episode of the special series, Jammu Kashmir Ek Nayi Subha, which will bring to you the finalization of the delimitation order for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The episode will also bring forward the various aspects related to the recently notified delimitation order. The special program can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website, newsonair.gov.in, and on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.
The nation is remembering first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru on his death anniversary today. In a tweet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has paid tributes to Jawaharlal Nehru. Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi and senior Congress leaders also offered floral tributes to Pandit Nehru at his memorial Shantivan in New Delhi. Hindi author Gitanjali Shree's novel Ret Samadhi, Tomb of Sand has won the International Booker Prize, becoming the first novel translated from Hindi to do so. Gitanjali Shree is not only the award's first Hindi winner, but also it is for the first time a book originally written in any Indian language has won the Booker Prize. Gitanjali Shree said, "There is melancholy satisfaction in the award going to Tomb of Sand. This is an elegy for the world we inhabit, a lasting energy that retains hope in the face of impending doom."
Anything anyone writes is reflective solely and completely only about some one example. I think we have replete with examples of this sort of women coming into their own as they grow older.
Our desk report.
Geetanjali Shree's Tomb of Sand, translated from Hindi by Daisy Rockwell, has won the prestigious Booker Prize. The prize money of £50,000 will be shared between the author and translator equally. Shree's book clinched the award where 135 books competed. Tomb of Sand is a story of an 80-year-old woman who slips into a deep depression when her husband dies, then resurfaces to gain a new lease on life. The woman travels to Pakistan to confront the unresolved trauma of a teenage experience of partition and re-evaluates what it means to be a mother, a daughter, a woman and a feminist. Shree is the author of 3 novels and several short story collections, although Tomb of Sand is the first of her books to be published in the UK. Ravi Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
And now let's listen to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
In today's episode, we remember the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who died on the 27th of May, 1964.
Jawaharlal Nehru was born in Allahabad on November the 14th, 1889. As a student, Nehru had been interested in the struggle of all nations who suffered under foreign domination. He took keen interest in the Sinn Féin movement in Ireland. He returned to India in 1912 from England and was drawn into the struggle for independence.
In 1912, he attended the Bankipur Congress as a delegate and became secretary of the Home Rule League, Allahabad, in 1919. In 1916, he had his first meeting with Mahatma Gandhi and felt immensely inspired by him. He organized the first Kisan March in Pratapgarh district of Uttar Pradesh in 1920. He was twice imprisoned in connection with the non-cooperation movement of 1920 to 1922.
In 1926, at the Madras Congress, Nehru had been instrumental in committing the Congress to the goal of independence. While leading a procession against the Simon Commission, he was lathi-charged in Lucknow in 1928. On August the 29th, 1928, he attended the All-Party Congress and was one of the signatories to the Nehru Report on Indian constitutional reform, named after his father Motilal Nehru.
The same year, he also founded the Independence for India League, which advocated complete severance of the British connection with India and became its General Secretary. In 1929, Nehru was elected President of the Lahore session of the Indian National Congress, where complete independence for the country was adopted as the goal. He was imprisoned several times in connection with the Salt Satyagraha and other movements.
On October the 31st, 1940, Nehru was arrested for offering individual satyagraha to protest against India's forced participation in war. On August the 7th, 1942, he moved the historic Quit India resolution at the Congress session in Bombay and was arrested on August the 8th, 1942, along with other national leaders. After his release in January 1945, he organized legal defense for INA officers and soldiers charged with treason.
Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of India upon independence in 1947 and continued to serve the nation till his death in 1964. We salute the great Indian.
We also remember nationalist Hukam Singh, who died on the 27th of May 1983. Hukam Singh took part in the anti-Simon Commission demonstrations in 1928 and was injured and arrested during a police baton charge on a procession in the streets of Montgomery.
Simon
Hukum Singh was born at Montgomery in Sahiwal district, presently in Pakistan. Singh was initiated into politics through the Shiromani Akali Dal and was its president for 3 years. He was also a member of the Montgomery Singh Sabha and its president for 3 years. Hukum Singh was arrested in 1924 and sentenced to about 2 years of imprisonment.
Partition forced Hukum Singh to cross over to India in August 1947. He became a refugee overnight. Disregarding his own safety, Singh actively took part in evacuating people from their houses and moving them to a safe place. However, his talents were soon recognized and he was appointed puisne judge of the State High Court, Kapurthala, in December 1947. Hukum Singh was elected to the Constituent Assembly of India on 30th of April 1948. He actively participated in the Constituent Assembly's debates and only a year after his entry was nominated to the panel of its chairman.
Hukum Singh was also a member of the Provisional Parliament during 1950 to 1952. He served as the Speaker of the House in the 3rd Lok Sabha. The conventions and rules devised by him continue to guide the working of the Parliament even today. The noble soul breathed his last on the 27th of May 1983. AIR News salutes the great Indian. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
The International Monetary Fund Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva has said that Sri Lanka's present crisis is due to mismanagement. Speaking at Davos, she said the most important thing to be done is to put the country back on a sound microeconomic footing. According to media reports, Ms. Georgieva further said the IMF will strongly support Sri Lanka's debt restructuring process and it will be available once the IMF has clarity on what the program will look like and how debt can be restructured. She also expressed gratitude to India for being such a good friend to Sri Lanka and for advocating support for Sri Lanka in this very difficult time. The conditions are becoming favourable for monsoon onset over Kerala during the next 2 to 3 days. Further conditions are also favourable for the advance of southwest monsoon into some more parts of Arabian Sea and Lakshadweep area during the same period. IMD said the southwest monsoon has further advanced into some more parts of South Arabian Sea, entire Maldives and adjoining areas of Lakshadweep and some more parts of Comorin area.
In the 12th Hockey India Junior Men's National Championship, 2 semi-final matches will be played today at Kovilpatti in Tamil Nadu. In the first semi-final, defending champions Uttar Pradesh will take on Haryana. In the second semi-final, Chandigarh will come up against Odisha. In Asia Cup Hockey, India will take on Japan in the first Super 4 stage match tomorrow at the GBK Sports Complex Hockey Stadium in Jakarta, Indonesia. The match will begin at 5 p.m. IST. India qualified for the Super 4 round with a huge 16-0 win over host Indonesia yesterday. In IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore will take on Rajasthan Royals in qualifier 2 of the Indian Premier League 2022 at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad this evening at 7:30 p.m. The winning team will face debutants Gujarat Titans in Sunday's final.
Let us take a quick look at the weather update for the day. National capital Delhi is likely to have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Minimum temperature was 25 degrees. Maximum will be around 38. Mumbai is likely to have generally cloudy sky. Chennai expected to have generally cloudy sky too with light rain. In Kolkata, sky will be partly cloudy with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates India's biggest drone festival, Bharat Drone Mahotsav 2022 at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Says India is marching ahead with great speed and scale to become drone technology hub of the world. Technology has played an important role in strengthening last mile delivery and reaching beneficiaries across the nation, says Prime Minister. President Ramnath Kovind inaugurates 125th anniversary celebrations of late Srimati Lakshmibai Dagadu-Shet Halwai Datta Mandir Trust in Pune. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit Gujarat tomorrow to participate in various functions including seminars of leaders of various cooperative institutions on Sehkar Se Samriddhi at Mahatma Mandir, Gandhi Nagar. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval stresses the need to enhance capability of Afghanistan to counter terrorism. An interministerial central team is in Assam to assess the situation and damages caused by recent floods and landslides. Geetanjali Shree's novel Tomb of Sand wins International Booker Prize. In IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore to take on Rajasthan Royals in qualifier 2 at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.